All right, welcome back. And we are back with another preview show here for you today. And we are doing the AFC East. The AFC East, Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. They all got something going on, man. But we're going to get into all that here right after the intro, man. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be right back. Let's get it.
Rising K, the Raisin Man.
All right, man. Let's get into it, man. So we got the Buffalo Bills starting off here with the AFC East, man. It's me, your boy NYG22, aka Unpopular Opinion Sports, with Coach Ed and Big Pat Sports Talk, along with our special guest, Shakes Montana, man, in the building, man.
What it do?
Yeah. We definitely gonna get into it, man. Shakes, man. What's good with you, man? How you been, bro?
Man, everything gravy, man. Everything good. I mean, still shakedown out here. Aboriginal Sports Network. Y'all already know what it is. Chilling, man.
That's what's up, man. But we're gonna get into the Buffalo Bills here, man. And last year with Buffalo, 13-4. I mean, that's what you expect with the Buffalo Bills, with Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, and what they have built over there in Buffalo. But again, just can't get over that hump. Can't get over that Kansas City hump. Cannot get to a Super Bowl, and that is the expectation there in Buffalo. As you can see on the screen right there, 11.5 is the win total. So 11.5. That's a high expectation. That means you are looking towards being a Super Bowl caliber team. But last year, it didn't work out, and they got to make some adjustments. And we're going to get into all those adjustments. But, fellas, talk about what went down in Buffalo last year, man, and what do they need to do to improve and get over the hump and get to a Super Bowl here with Josh Allen in the peak or the prime window of his career.
Well, the Buffalo Bills last year, man, they went 13-4. It was a little bit of surprise to me. I didn't think they were going to be able to, have the success that they had last year after losing, Diggs and a lot of people last year. But, man, they started off extremely hot, man, and they offense clicked. It looked like it got better when Josh Allen didn't have to, try to force feed the ball to Stephon Diggs. And when that happened, Josh Allen had an MVP type season, even though I think Lamar Jackson should have had the MVP. But the Bills, overall, man, they were a well-balanced breakfast last year, man. Josh Allen was playing out of his mind. They had a very good run game. They decided to run the ball this year, man. And you see some of the exciting plays that they had last year. I remember calling that game when the Buffaloes just destroyed San Francisco last year. So I think they're a well-balanced team, man. And they did. We'll see what they did to get better, or did they get worse? But we're going to see. But, Coach, Tell them about what Josh Allen them did last year with the stats and everything, Coach. Let's get into it.
Well, Pat, you definitely spoke well about what they did being a balanced offense. I mean, 38-75 in terms of passing yards, 22-30 in terms of rushing. I mean, that's 4.5 yards per carry. So, that's very effective in the run game. Also, 32 touchdowns. That tells you how when they get into the red zone or, through explosive plays, but primarily through the red zone, they attack the end zone efficiently. When we take a look at Josh Allen, I mean, look at 37-31, and in terms of his passing yards, 28 touchdowns through the air, and then on the ground game, they were led by James Cook, a little bit over 1,000 yards, but 16 touchdowns. Josh Allen also contributed with over 500 yards and 12 touchdowns. So that speaks to the offensive efficiency in terms of what the Bills brought to you, and then overall, in terms of the league, in terms of where they ranked. Offensively, they were 10th, and defensively, they were 17th. So that speaks to what they bring as an organization onto the field.
All right, so Shakes, man, what you think about the overall Bills team, man? Tell us what you think about this.
This team here, man. If you have like a heart thermometer, or what is that? Whatever, like defibrillator or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And you know how it goes,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then it's like when it's flatline, it's like beep. That's how I feel about the Bills. They flatline, right? That's all they is. They just flatline. They just stay pat, and they don't go up and they don't go down. You know what I'm saying? Like they just stay consistent. So for me, you know what I'm saying, the main thing about these Bills is that, and I know Bills Mafia, y'all gonna kill me. I know. I'm sorry. But it's the truth. I only speak the truth. They choke every single year. They choke every single year. And you can go all the way back to the 80s when they went to 4 Super Bowls and still couldn't get the job done. We can go all the way back. But that's who the Bills are. They choke. Let me clear my throat.
All right, so
Yeah.
hey, Shakes, giving it the real about what he thinks of the Bills, and yes, they do flatline when they get to the playoffs. But man,
Right.
NYG, let's get to what they did this offseason, man.
Yeah, man. So getting into it, Pat, man, let's look at some of the key losses here. Amari Cooper. He's out of there, man. Mac Hollins. Von Miller. You see him on the screen right there, man. But Dwayne Smoot to the Jags. Austin Johnson, Jordan Phillips, Kaiir Elam traded to the Cowboys. Why y'all trading people to the Cowboys, man? Shame on y'all, Buffalo.
Right.
Shame on y'all, man. And they lost the punter, Sam Martin, to the Panthers. But which one of these losses do you guys think are gonna impact this team the most?
The loss I think may impact them the most. Gonna be honest with you, I think it's gonna be Kaiir Elam. Yeah, Kaiir Elam is gonna impact them the most. Man, he's one of the best DBs. He played in the slot, he played outside, and he just, he actually stepped his game up as far as coverage last year. And I think that's gonna really hurt them in that secondary. They have let's see what that secondary can do with Hamlin and them guys back there. But I think Kaiir Elam was the young guy that they had that it could have depended on to turn into a top corner, and they traded him to the Cowboys for whatever reason. But I think that's going to be their most impact. Coach, what you think?
I agree with you. Elam is key to the back end. of what they're doing. You know, if you want to say with Von Miller, the two of them together, because Miller can get after the quarterback, which can affect the back end where, you know, quarterbacks are rushing the pass, that can lead to turnovers, deflections, you know. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you in terms of Elam being missed because he was definitely an effective playmaker back there.
Okay, Shakes, who you think, man, is going to be their top losses? Looking at those losses on the screen, who do you think is going to be the top loss for the Buffalo Bills going into this season?
I think, I'm not sure. We'll get into it later in this segment, but Amari Cooper, in the sense of, in the beginning of the season, the Bills and Allen was really struggling to try to find their offense until they got Amari Cooper in the building. And then even though Amari Cooper wasn't consistent, like Cooper can give you a 200-yard game, and then the next game he'll give you a 36-yard game. You know what I'm saying? But just to have that X factor in there for Allen just did loads, which obviously he ends up winning the MVP. So I think for that factor, not just the player alone, not just Coop alone, but just that player, that X factor player in there, the caliber of Amari Cooper, I feel like that loss right there is the biggest loss for me.
Okay. So we all went different directions on the Bills here. I think it's Kaiir Elam. You know, coach goes towards the sexy fatties, as he call them, Von Miller. You know, Shakes went with the key receiver, Amari Cooper, who I don't think they're gonna miss at all. He really didn't do anything for him, but you know, Amari Cooper could turn out to be, you know, a key loss for them. But NYG, let's get to the additions.
Yeah, man. The Bills, they added some pieces, man. They went out there and they did some things. Josh Allen, he got a new contract. You know, it's all about the quarterback. They got Joey Bosa. In there right now. Greg Rousseau got a new contract. And you know, you see it on the screen there. Tre'Davious White also getting a contract there. But guys, man, looking at this list here, just if you one reason that the Buffalo Bills have been having problems getting over the Kansas City Chiefs, I think is their defense. So is Joey Bosa the answer? I don't know. Y'all tell me which one of these additions is going to be key going into the 2025 season for the Buffalo Bills.
One of the key additions, I'm going to be honest with you, is going to be Joey Bosa. And I like the addition of Joshua Palmer at the receiver position. I think he's a receiver that's ready to break out, man. The kid has talent. He has route running. He has the height. He has the speed. He just needs the clock, man. And it just didn't work out for him over there with the Chargers. But when you look at that Chargers tape, Joshua Palmer was on a lot of those deep receptions from Herbert over there in Los Angeles. And then, like I said, with Joey Bosa coming, filling that veteran edge rusher role that Von Miller has left vacant, as you can see here with the list, I think they're going to do pretty good, man. But watch out for that Joshua Palmer, man. He might actually turn out to be a pretty doggone good receiver for the Bills. Hey, man. But, Coach, what you think, Coach?
Bosa, you know, replacing the loss in terms of the edge rush, you know, can he step up? But one that I'm going to go with is Green. Green as far as the interior offensive lineman. You know, you definitely want to secure and make sure that, you know, defenses don't have a straight line to the quarterback. So, you know, that's key. That's important. But it's also a factor in the run game where he can help. They've always had a pretty good offensive line, Now that can help get it more efficient, more effective, and help them get over the hump. That right there, I think, can definitely help them in the long run.
All right, Shakes, man, who you think is going to help them out going into this season from what they did with their key additions?
I have to agree with y'all on the Joey Bosa part of the thing, just because it keeps that pass rushing going, and the loss of Von Miller, I think that kind of exit out. But when I look at all the additions, I'm like, they staying pat to me. It's like it's like there's nothing that made me say, oh man, they made a move that's gonna be like, oh, you better look out. It's like they still the same Bills. Now again, they're gonna be a tough team to beat, just like every season going, from like what, 5-6 years now. But still, there is nothing that makes me say, oh, they made a move to try to get over the hump. So and for me, I look at the Ravens, of course, you know me, a Purple City gang, but they make moves to try to get over the hump. I don't see the Bills do this. They just stay pat and just say, all right, we're going to go at it one more time. And it's like, you're going to get the same results. I don't understand. But okay, do y'all.
All right, as you can see, Shakes think they stand pat. Me and Coach kind of agree on some of the people that I believe that they brought in. I'm more higher on Joshua Palmer than everybody else. And I think Joey Bosa is going to get a turnaround on his career as long as he stays healthy. But in YG, got one more part. The NFL draft, baby. What they did in the NFL draft.
Man, you already know, man. We here on the Aboriginal Sports Network are big fans of the draft, especially the Senior Bowl. I see a couple of my homies, man, that we talked to. Landon Jackson, third round pick, man. Maxwell Harrison, cornerback from Kentucky, number 30. TJ Sanders, second round pick from South Carolina. Deion Walker, another Kentucky Wildcat there in the fourth round for the Buffalo Bills, man. But going down this list, man, Dorian Strong, Jackson Halls. Let me know, folks, which one of these picks do you think is going to have the biggest impact? Because again, the Buffalo Bills, I feel like they need another star. It's too much Josh Allen. Too much Josh Allen. Can one of these picks step up and be the next star for the Buffalo Bills? Y'all talk to me.
Well, I do believe they do have a star that they got in the fourth round in Deion Walker, defensive tackle from Kentucky, man. Big man. Coach, I know that you can validify this guy here. I think this guy's going to be a run stuffer for them, and he's actually shown the ability to get after the quarterback in some instances, as you see right there. He could be very disruptive there. I say something like how the New York Giants have a Dexter Lawrence, or somebody like the guy for the Chiefs, Jones. Like, he could be somebody like that, and he could just be a menace as a run stopper, man. I think they got something in the fourth round. I think they got a steal in the fourth round. But hey, Coach, what you think?
I mean, he's definitely the type of player that can definitely impact in the run game as well as the pass game. So, it's key. It's important that, you have players like that that you can put on the field who can be productive, especially young players. I mean, I like what Buffalo did there in terms, because Pat, we talked about the defense earlier. They attacked the defense, and he can definitely be one of the key players to develop and help them become a bigger force. And Landon Jackson, definitely is one of those players who, you know what, you keep an eye on him. So go ahead.
Hey,
You got it.
yeah, we talked to Landon Jackson actually at the Senior Bowl. Have an interview with him right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. I actually got to talk to him, a mountain of a guy. Shakes, man, what you think of the Bills draft, brother?
They do what they do. They build through the draft. It's a good draft. But as far as the guy that I feel is gonna make the biggest impact on his team is the first pick in Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky. Because one of the things is when you look at the Bills and you say, all right, what's their weakness? You're gonna go in that back end. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna go in that back end because that front is so strong. So you're gonna look at that back end like, all right, you know what I mean? They can use some help there. And especially, you know what I mean, when they go back and sign a Tre'Davious White, you know what I'm saying, bring him back. So that tells you like, yo, we need some help in that back end. So to go ahead in the draft and draft a Maxwell Harrison and how physical he is, I think it fits the bill. All pun intended.
So, hey, that's what we think of their draft. I think they had a pretty doggone good draft, to be honest with you, and they did get in with the trenches, man. So, and like Shake said, 3 cornerbacks, so that tells you that they need help in the back in the back end, like you said. But NYG, let's get on with the Bills to see what their roster looks like.
Yeah, let's see how they put it all together. Let's see. Take a look at the roster. Man, this is the portion that I like, man. I'm breaking down this roster, man. But look, man. Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir. Is that enough for Josh Allen? That's what y'all gotta ask yourself. That's what Josh Allen gotta ask yourself. You got Chenault, you got Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, he's over there. But is that enough? Look at the tight end spot. Dawson Knox, pretty good. Dalton Kincaid, pretty good. Jackson Halls, okay. James Cook, Ty Johnson in the backfield, Ray Davis. Is this a team that can contend in the AFC? Remember, in the AFC, you got Baltimore, Kansas City. You got the Chargers. You got the Texans. The Steelers could be in there. So you got a couple different teams, man. And I mean, I don't know. This offensive line, coach. Okay, Spencer Brown, right tackle, Deion Dawkins, left tackle, David Edwards, Connor McGovern, Osiris Torrance.
Gator.
Now, the defense, I think, is where they improved. Because Joey Bosa drafting TJ Sanders and putting in Maxwell Harrison into that defense, I think it will survive in the AFC. But y'all talk to me, man. Okay, is this roster good enough?
Okay, first and foremost, Coach, I'm gonna handle the offense. You gonna handle the defense. And when you talk to me about this offense, hell yeah, they can handle that. This is way better than what they had last year. You got Khalil Shakir that turned into a monster. Keon Coleman, the big 6'4", 6'5" outside receiver, possession receiver. You got Joshua Palmer, who I think is way better than he's given credit for. Certain kind of like Slayton for the New York Giants, to be honest with you, on the same trajectory. Consistent, give him the ball more, see what he does. Then you got Chenault, another monster coming off the bench. You get him in open field. You got Curtis Samuel, same build. You got Elijah Moore that could take up the slack with Khalil Shakir needs a breather. Then you got 2 good tight ends. You got a great running back in James Cook with Ty Johnson and Ray Davis to back him up, a solid offensive line, of course they can hang with everybody. It's just like Shake said previously, it's the flatlining in the playoffs. Other than that, the offense is great. Then you got Josh Allen to back that up. Man, please. They ready. They are ready. Coach, talk to them.
Defensively, there's some very good talent there. So can they compete for a championship with this defense? Yes, they can. I mean, if you start with that front end, with Rousseau and Bosa at the edges, Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones up front, and you know me with the big fat sexies. I love when you have and you can play well in the trenches. Those guys can definitely do well. And then if you look right behind them, AJ Espinoza, who was a starter and has played well. He can add Larry Ogunjobi. He can definitely play. So you do have some quality there. When you get to the second level at the linebackers, Matt Milano, come on, man, he's a beast of a player, man. Terrell Bernard is a good middle linebacker. And you get to the secondary with Benford. He has his good moments, and then there are other times you can question him. Harrison, he's young. He's developing, but he has talent there. And then with Bishop and Rapp as the safeties, and with DeMar Hamlin as an extra one, and then you have Tre'Davious White, who's going to battle the rookie for playing time. This defense definitely is good enough to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs and the other top teams in the AFC. As Pat and Shakes have said, it's when you make those mistakes and you hurt yourself or you flatline, that takes away from your opportunity to win a championship. But the tools are there.
So here's the part of the show that people are going to be waiting for. Mr. Shakes Montana. Does this roster get your stamp of approval? Tell them what you think about this roster.
Yo. 1 2 1 2.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I had myself muted. Sorry about that.
You back.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's a great roster, but it's been this great roster for 5-6 years now, right? Like it's been this way for a while now, and it's always to me like, okay, what have you done to get over the hump? So when you ask me, does it impress me? Oh yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But do it impress me enough to say that they are definitely going to win a championship now? No, it's gonna be the same thing. They second round to championship level team, but that's it. That's as far as they go.
So does it get your stamp of approval, or is it a see and wait, or is it a no?
Yeah, you can put it there. Yeah, go ahead. You can put an approval there, but it's same old shit to me. Yeah, you know that's so what. That's so what.
All right. So hey, look, they didn't get the full stamp of approval from Shakes, but he does admit that they have a pretty good roster over there with the Buffalo Bills. So hey, last part, we gotta look at the schedule, man. Let's see what they're gonna do with this schedule, NYG.
Yeah, man. Getting back to the schedule, Baltimore, off the jump. Your man's in them Shakes, the Ravens. Then you got the Jets, Dolphins, Saints, New England. Now 11.5. That was the over under 11.5 for this Buffalo Bills team. You got to stretch there. Looking at week 9, Kansas City, Miami, Tampa, Houston, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Then you got New England, Cleveland. Then you got Philadelphia, and then the Jets. That's a nice little run. Now, we're gonna get into the Jets later, but I don't think the Jets are gonna be no just pushover. So, looking at the schedule, 11 and a half. You know how we do it over here. Y'all going over or under? Talk to me.
Well, shout out to BetGM. 11 and a half. They got them at 11 and a half on the BetGM app. If you do sports better, go over to BetGM. And you bet the over under on this right here. I'm gonna give them a over. I'm gonna give them 12 victories. They might slip up in the first game because you're going against a Super Bowl contender in the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be one heck of a game. Tune in for that game because more than likely it will be called here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. But after that, Jets, Miami, New Orleans, New England, Atlanta, Carolina, I'm giving them all wins right there. Kansas City, they might beat them because they're always playing well in the regular season. Miami, I got them beating them too. And then the rest of the schedule, if they could get 5 more wins out the rest of that schedule, they're going to have over 11 wins. That's what I think. So I'm going over.
All right, Coach. What do you think?
I mean, looking at the schedule, your crossover divisions are the AFC North and then the NFC South. And of course, your regular division. Now, I mean, I also look at the fact that you're playing your whole division to start within the first 5 games. So that's a big thing right there because you know what? You know each other, and it's going to be tough right off the bat to start. Of course, you have Baltimore to start the season. It's going to be a prime time game. So, there's going to be a lot of energy, especially being that it's at home too. So, and then looking at the rest of the schedule, I'm with Pat. I do think they're going to go over and get about 12 wins, maybe even 13.
All right. Shakes. What do you think? Over or under? 11 and a half.
Hey, yo.
Yo.
Bills Mafia, yo. Hey, listen, man. Don't come at me, man. Don't come at me. No. I know I sound like a Bills hater. Maybe I am. Because hell no, they not. They not getting over. They under like a motherfucker. I got them at 10 wins. No, seriously, I do.
Wow.
Seriously, do. They had 10 wins. Yo, that stretch, bro, where you sound like you was doing the Cameron song, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Yeah, man, that was what? What?
Excuse me.
Man, listen, man. Nah, it's gonna be rough for them. And then don't think that this division gonna be soft neither. They gonna run into some rough patches with this division too. It's gonna be some tough games with Miami. It's gonna be some tough games with the Jets. And shoot, don't sleep on them Patriots. So, yeah, 10 wins for me, man. Under. Sorry, Bills Mafia. I just speak the truth.
That's what Shakes thinks of y'all, but Bills Mafia, man. But yo, NYG, who we got up the bat next, man? That man literally said under 11 and a half, and he said the Patriots? Are you serious?
Hey,
Drake May might not even be the best quarterback over there on the Patriots. Well, Joe Milton got traded to the Cowboys. It seems like everybody want to trade everybody to the Cowboys on these teams for some reason.
Yeah, or the Eagles.
Yeah, it's weird, but we're going to get into the other teams you said they're going to struggle with. We're going to see, Shake.
Man.
I'm telling you, Patriots going to beat them one game this year. Mark my words.
All right, man. You heard it here.
This is going to be epic, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. We coming right back. All right, we back here with the Miami Dolphins. You see it. Tua, Mike McDaniel. I mean, what is going on in Miami? Somebody go investigate the Dolphins. But real talk though, 8-9 last year, and to be honest, they're not a bad team, but players are acting out. Jalen Ramsey, you got Tyreek Hill over there. He talking crap. Jalen Waddle, Tua, he's hurt, injured. Mike McDaniel, this head coach, came over, and he's trying to get things straight in Miami. But again, you're in the division with the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Jets, they're probably on the same level with the Jets. We're going to get into them later. But Miami, what is going on in Miami? That's what I want to know, man. Y'all talk to me.
All right. Miami Dolphins, man, listen. This is a team that's often injured, and I think this is a team that a lot of veterans just go, to finish their careers off and get them their last couple of checks. You got Tyreek Hill was wilding out there last year. Tua, concussion after concussion after concussion. Jalen Waddle was inconsistent last year. And I just think this team is front runners, man. If you have a defense that will allow them to just use their speed to beat you, that's what they did last year. I think they put up 72 points on somebody not too long ago. But other than that, man, when they get into the real, you saw what happened to them. That's why they had an 8-9 record, especially during the cold month season. If they're not playing Miami, they lose. So I just think this is a team that it has to build a foundation. What's their foundation besides, little Mike McDaniels and his glasses calling up plays, throwing it deep down the field with Tua. And hopefully Tua does not get another concussion, because I think he should retire, because those concussions were ridiculous last year. Man, it had him throwing up gang signs. But I don't know, man. Coach, give them the stats, and maybe we can make some sense of what happened to them last year. Start off hot, and then when you say flatline, they flatline. But Coach, talk to them.
Man, I'm just going to say, looking at the stats and knowing the talent there, it baffles me. I mean, offensively, total yards completely, over 5,500 yards, 37 passing, and roughly 1,800 on the ground. They were ranked in the league at 18, but defensively they were ranked fourth in terms of yards per game for the season. You look at Tua. Like you said, he played 11 games, about 2,900 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. You had Hundley, who stepped in, roughly 800 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, not overly impressive. And then when you look at the skill game, there's talent there. A-Chain, roughly 900 yards rushing. 6 touchdowns, but you had Tyreek Hill in terms of receiving yards, 900. Jonnu Smith, who they just traded, almost 900 yards. Waddle, roughly 700 yards. There's too much talent on that team for them to win 8 games. So it leaves me questioning something else, but we'll talk about that later.
All right, Shakes, man. Hey, tell them what you think of the Dolphins, brother. Let's hear what you got to say.
Like I said, man, I told y'all before this, I'm a closet little Dolphin fan. So my nephew is a hardcore Dolphin fan, and that's the reason why. So I followed this team last year distinctly, even though I was on strike with the Giants. I followed this team, and what this team went through last year was Tua got hurt once again. He got hurt, and everything went to after that. And then when he came back, they started to win some more games, but it was just a little bit too late. Just a little bit too late. So I say all that to say that the Dolphins go as far as Tua takes them. The problem is that Tua only goes as far as his head takes him. Pause, right? Because he has these medical issues, and it's not nothing to just look over. These are injuries, concussions especially, that is something that you fear for his life, not only his career. So it's that aspect. But when he's on that field, can't deny he's nothing but a winner. So for me, when I go into these previewing of the seasons, I never look at it as, okay, I'm looking at a person about to get injured, right? I just don't ever do that. I always think, okay, well, they're fully healthy now, and let's hope that they'll stay fully healthy all season long. And a fully healthy Tua has this team at a above average rate to me. I ain't going to say the over and unders yet, because we'll get to all that. But to me, I think that they are a competitive, tough team, especially when my boy Tua, that's my son, is healthy.
Yeah, man. But we're definitely gonna dive into all that, man, and we're gonna start off here with the key losses, man.
And they got 2 lists.
It's been a crazy offseason for them, man. It's been wild. Go ahead.
I mean, they made a lot of trades, and they lost a lot of players. I'm just gonna highlight just a couple. Raheem Mostert, he's now a Raider. Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey, obviously, in that one trade. Javon Holland to the Giants. Don't sneeze at that either. Javon Holland, very, very good player. Emmanuel Ogbah, edge rusher to the Jaguars. Don't sneeze at that. Teron Armstead, left tackle, retired. I mean, y'all can go through the list. Y'all know
keep
football,
this,
man. Yeah, go ahead. Talk to him.
Hey, listen, man.
Let's get it.
I'm gonna keep this short and simple. Them fools lost everybody. Looking at this list, them dudes lost everything. I didn't know they lost that much. But I already know what Coach gonna talk about, so I ain't gonna steal his thunder. But they lost their whole secondary. Look at this. They lost their whole secondary. Kendall Fuller started, Neal started, Ramsey started, Holland started, Poyer started. Good Lord. Coach, talk to him, man. My goodness, they lost everybody. That's all I got to say.
I mean, 4 offensive linemen. And then even Agba and even Calais Campbell, a good veteran. He may not be the elite player that he once was, but he's still a productive player. You win and lose games in the trenches, man. And that's key. And your offensive line, because you need that to protect Tua. You know, Shakes was just talking about his medical situation. So that's an important factor. What have they done to replace it? Because if they haven't efficiently attacked that to replace it, then it draws concerns, major concerns about, like Shakes just said, this team basically goes how Tua goes. So, and I don't want to look at it as, he's going to get hurt, but it concerns me about the possibility losing 4 offensive linemen like that. And it doesn't matter if they're key starters or backup guys. It's still the fact that you lost 4 offensive linemen. And the games are won and lost in the trenches.
Hey, Coach. So this is basically what you're going to say is get ready to happen to Tua again this year.
They're wasting that man's career, man. Seriously. That's a good one, Pat. They're wasting it, man, because, again, I got to see what they did to, how did they address the offensive linemen. Also, 3 tight ends. Think about that. You know, that's an extension of the run game, the pass game. Sometimes that's the best receiver for quarterbacks because they're right there in their vision a lot of times, and it can help them protect the quarterback. So, you know, but go ahead. You guys got it.
Shakes.
All right. Yeah.
Talk about them, man.
Bro, that is at least one player from every position on the team, bro. No, look at it. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, left tackle, guard. You know what I mean? Edge, defensive ends. The only thing I don't see is probably a defensive lineman, but you can put Calais Campbell as that. Linebackers, cornerback, safeties, long snapper. Like,
That's a lot, man.
They lost a long snapper, man. I don't even think we need to go any further. They lost everybody, bro.
Crazy from every position. How do you do that?
All right.
23 players they lost.
They lost 2 sides of the ball. They lost everybody, bro.
Wow.
Enough said.
But they did not just lose players. They gained some players too. And look who. Look.
Let's hope. I mean, shoot.
Yeah. But honestly, man, Zach Wilson, they got him. Let's go. Traded for Darren Waller. Let's go. Got Micah Fitzpatrick, but you gave up Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Let's go. Talk about these additions. There's other ones on the list. That's what we got you guys for. Y'all rap, man. Who is gonna make an impact on this team coming into next season, man? Checking out these key additions.
If your key addition is a guy that's formerly been retired, and you have to give up Patrick Ramsey to get Mika Fitzpatrick, I got one thing to say. This whole all season so far has been wasted. Like, what are they doing out there in Miami? No wonder Patrick Ramsey wanted to get out of there. What too? I don't know nobody. What last year's gone? What y'all got going on out here, man? It ain't nothing. I don't like none of the additions besides Mika Fitzpatrick, and I don't like him because he's by himself. And Darren Waller, you don't know what he about to do out there in Miami. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. He might need some cash. He might run low on cash and came and say, hey, Miami will give me that bag. But hopefully that's the only bag he getting out there. I'm just gonna be real with you. But other than that, man, coach, talk to him.
Well, they brought in 22 players. Okay, so, but you signed 2 offensive linemen and re-signed 2 of your own. So that's going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to watch for the Dolphins, man, is the interior, is their offensive line as a whole, because that's going to concern me when it comes to Tua, you know, to be brutally honest with you. You know, the rest of it, you know, you take it as you can. So, and are these additions going to help keep their defense as one of the tops in the league? Because right now it's leaving me questioning, you know, like Pat just said, what are you doing?
That's a fact. Shakes, what you got for him, man? See, even Shakes is speechless. He can't even say anything about this game.
No. I actually think differently. as much as I said, look, man, they done lost a player from every damn position. It seemed like they done picked up from every damn position. They just replaced those guys with guys that they felt like will would do better for them going forward. Can I see that list one more time? A lot of these kids is Florida kids as well. Just to point that out there. But if you lose a guy like Mostert and you bring in a Madison to go with A Chain, it's a different combination. I kind of like it. It's that speed and power thing, that rough and tough. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Nick Westbrook kid, man. Like that's a good signing as well. I think they got him from Jacksonville, right?
No, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Why I could have sworn I seen him in Jacksonville one time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
scoring against Jacksonville. Yeah.
probably was that. We'll check up on that. But yeah, I mean, then you said they lost 3 tight ends. They gained a Farrell Brown and a Darren Waller. So all right. Now the only thing that I'm questioning really is that offensive line. Just like Cole said, uh, you pick up 2 and you re-sign 2. What is that really going to do for that offensive line? We'll see. But as far as the KJ Britt, the linebackers, Willie Gay, they some good linebackers, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Artie Burns, that's my son. He's from the U. He's coming back home to Florida. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good signing.
Coming to party.
And then, Minka Fitzpatrick right there. Is the gold star right there. So you do lose a Ramsey, but you pick up a Fitzpatrick, which he was there before. So it's just like getting your captain back. So I think it's good for them. Like you said, and like I said before, they go as far as Tua takes them. Tua goes as far as his head will. So.
Yeah, he goes as far as his offensive line blocking him so he won't hit his head, but obviously that's going to happen this year.
James Daniels is a good pick, man. I mean, shoot, bro, that's a good signing.
I think we got the right music playing because this is what's going to be happening over there in Miami this season. I'm telling you. But got to get back to the host, NYG. What's next? The NFL draft, baby.
Yeah, let's get into what they did here in the NFL draft, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. My man Kenneth Grant. Shout out to Kenneth Grant, man. Michigan D tackle. He's better than Mason Graham. Yeah, I said it. Unpopular opinion, man. Hit that like button. Jonah Savianea. We talked to him at the Senior Bowl. That's my dog. That dude is a beast. He is going to tear it up over there, man. Jordan Phillips, Jason Marshall Jr., man. Ali Gordon II. My man's. Shout out to Ali Gordon, man. Spoke to him, man. He be on that 2K. Yeah, Ali be on that 2K, man. Quinn Ears, out of Texas, quarterback, and then Zeke Biggers, D tackle, rounding out this draft, man. But which one of these picks is gonna have the biggest impact in the 2025 season for the Dolphins?
Yo, you already know how I get started, man. Looking at this draft, man, they did get a lot tougher. And I'm going to show you the reason why they got tougher. I've been hard on the Dolphins so far, but their NFL draft, they got a little bit better, man, with Kenneth Grant and those boys out there, man. It is a heck of a draft that they had, but I'm focused on Mr. Kenneth Grant. Coach, you already know what time it is. Kenneth Grant was a beast, and I do believe he is better than Mason Graham. I think Mason Graham benefited a lot from what Kenneth Grant was doing out there, and he just didn't get the pub of a Mason Graham. But when their careers are over, said and done, I do think this man will be the better draft pick for the Miami Dolphins, man. So but everybody else, man, they got a lot tougher with this draft, man. That's what's up. But Coach, what you think, man?
I'm with you in NYG about Kenneth Grant, so I'm not even going to talk about him because I do love him. I've watched him, as a Big Tenor. But I think Savianea, great acquisition, great selection, versatile offensive lineman, toughness, definitely. As far as protecting the interior of the offensive line, I think with the proper tutelage, he's definitely going to help that offensive line. So it gives me a little bit more comfort that, you're going to do a good job protecting Tua. So that's the biggest thing right there. And it can also definitely help in the run game. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a draft that they needed. Shakes, what you think about your Miami Dolphins, as you saying? What you think about their draft, man?
That's what I was saying, man. This draft gonna make y'all see the picture. This draft gonna make y'all see the picture, man. When Coach was talking about the trenches, that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. They attacked them trenches, boy. You know what I'm saying? Got my boy Kenneth. Then you got Phillips. Like, what? Oh, hell no. And like you said, got my boy the guard, the block for my boy Tua. Shit. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. They did what they supposed to do in this draft. They knocked it out. Every draft pick to me, I'm looking at like they gonna make a immediate impact. Every draft pick I see in right now is gonna make an immediate impact. Besides maybe Quint Ewers, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Quint Ewers, but him, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a valuable backup to them. And that's going to be a guy that they try to develop and all that, and that's great. That's where you take those quarterbacks right down there at 231. You know what I'm saying? Something that you're going to develop or whatever, and that's fine. But every other draft pick that you see is going to make an immediate impact on this team. And by the way, I was just talking about Madison, and I definitely respect him as a veteran running back. But he needs to watch out for Ali Gordon.
No, he ain't gonna need to watch out. Ali Gordon's in front of him.
Oh yeah.
he gonna need to watch out.
Madison fumbled that ball so fast.
Your job on the line.
But yeah, looks like Miami shook back a little bit with the draft. So hey, what we got up next is the depth chart. Let's see what this depth chart looking like, man.
Man, let's see how they put it all together. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Tua can it just, do what you gotta do, wiggle your toes, you cross your fingers, whatever, burn some sage, whatever it is you do. If that man can stay healthy, it's a dangerous team. Dangerous team, because I'm looking at their offense. We already know what they got on offense. All right, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Bong. Your offensive line, you might be a little worried about it, but I do like the fact that they got Savianea in there. They got James Daniels from Pittsburgh. But it's a little suspect. Now, that's what concerns you. Can Tua stay upright? Because their team is based on their offense. Now, the defense, I think, is pretty good, actually. Despite what they lost, they did lose a lot on the back end because I mean, you're looking at Caden Kuhua, Storm Duck. I don't know, man. I don't know who these guys are. But to be honest with you, I know who Bradley Chubb is, Kenneth Grant, you know what I'm saying, and you know, Jalen Phillips. They got some guys there. But is this enough, man? I don't know, man. This team looks suspect.
I'm gonna talk about the offense here, and basically,
suspect to me.
It's due to where people's head at and where the injury standpoint. Where's Tyreek Hill's head at? You know, he's in a bad headspace out there. Tua, will he get another concussion? You know, it's looking kind of grim out there if one injury happens. But let's just say they stay healthy for the whole season. They got some firepower. They got probably the fastest offense in the league. It might not even be close. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Westbrook coming off the bench. You got Westbrook coming off the bench. He's one of the fastest players in the league. Taj Washington, very fast. You know, then you got Theo Wise Jr., a big guy from Missouri. Then Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Malik Washington, a beast when he gets his chance. The offensive line is going to have to hold up and, you know, protect Tua. You got A-Chain. You got Jalen Wright, you know, Madison, Ollie Gordon at the running back position. So their offense is not too shabby. They just got to be healthy. Where their headspace at? Do they think they can win? But coach, talk about the defense.
Defensively, you know, it looks like everything is going to be based, to be brutally honest, on their outside linebackers in Phillips and Chubb. If they can help assist and create pressure, you know, that'll help in terms of Kenneth Grant learning the game and, you know, showing his skill set and what he can do, as well as Zach Sealer. I watched him a little bit last year. You know, he did do some things, you know, so he's someone who, you know, can develop and grow and be a productive. You know, you have Jordan Phillips coming in the second unit, you know, who they just drafted, who's someone that, you know, you hopefully can develop into something on the front line. The defensive backfield is going to be key to everything, man. That's why I guess Mika Fitzpatrick and Efete, you know, coming over from Detroit, you know, I guess those guys are going to be key to helping that defensive backfield be productive. So, you know, we'll see, though.
All right, Shakes. These are your homeboys. What you think about this roster real quick?
All right. Y'all can hear me?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I say all that to say the depth kind of scares me. And the thing is, and that's always with the Dolphins, is that they're front loaded, right? Like when you look at the starters, you're like, wow. Excuse me, hold on. Yeah, you like, wow, like they got star factor damn near everywhere, but what happens when they get hurt? And this is football. Somebody's going to get hurt. So when that one star does go down, do you have somebody to pick up the slack at least? And from what I'm looking at, not too much. So I think that's where I'm like, damn, that's the problem for me. Is that what Pat said, one injury, and that's their season. And that's how it's been for the last, 2-3 seasons for them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. So does this roster get your stamp of approval, Mr. Shakes Montana?
Halfway. Halfway. They get a half a stamp. You know what I mean?
Oh man, half a stamp.
Yeah, they get a half a stamp. You know what I mean?
Because man.
I love like I said just previously, I love the front load. I love the guys right there at running back. You know what I mean? The wide receivers and all that.
Okay.
And when they get hurt, what happens? When you look behind them, it's like, what the fuck is that? And then
Yeah, it's not good.
yeah, I'm
Right.
saying, and then
Exactly.
even the back end, the only one I do see back there is Minka. Everybody else looks pedestrian, and no disrespect to my son Artie. Like I said, it is a good signing, but he ain't gonna make no impact where you like, oh man, Artie Burns. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
So
So it's like, it looks
half a
alright,
stamp, half
but
a stamp.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, looks like Miami gets half a stamp. Hey, the other half they could go and cha-cha slide, man. Perfect music. Let's get to the schedule. NYG. Let's talk to him about the schedule.
Man, yo, these Dolphins, man. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. They're gonna have to do a lot of sliding during this schedule because you get to skate your first couple games: Indianapolis, New England. Then you get Buffalo, the Jets, Carolina. I think Carolina's going to be a much improved team. Y'all watch out, but we're going to get into them in a later preview. The Chargers, tough. Cleveland got a good defense. Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington. Eight and a half. What we doing, folks? What we doing? Over, under?
I'm taking the
Eight
deep.
and a half for the
I'm
Dolphins,
taking the
man.
deep down under. Because first and foremost, the Colts ain't gonna be easy for them because they at Indianapolis. The Patriots is a division game. Then you got Buffalo, Jets, Carolina, Los Angeles, Cleveland, Atlanta, Baltimore, Buffalo, Washington. They can lose most of those games, and then they just butt naked after that. And they might get beat New Orleans. They got the Jets again. Then you got Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, back to back to back, and it's on prime time. Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. At least they get the home games though. But yeah, deep down under, coach.
The odds makers knew exactly what they were doing when they said 8.5 because it can go 8 or it can go 9. Right now, I'm going to have to take the under, and it's more of because of Tua. You know, sitting here wondering, can he play the whole season? Because if he can play the whole season, maybe they can get to 9 wins. But right now, I have to take the under.
Shakes. Over under 8.5, bro.
Here we go back with my love fest because I kind of got off it a little bit on the last one, but yeah, I'm going over. But it's because I agree with what Coach said. Totally agree with it. And it goes to what I said. So it's like 8 or 9 wins. It's perfect. They know what they was doing. That's the type of team I see them as, an 8 or 9 win team. Now, you asking, are they going to go over 8? I'm like, yeah, I got them at 9. But it's the reason of what Coach just said. It goes on Tua. And for me, I don't go into a season saying, oh, this guy's going to get hurt. Right? I just spoke on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, he's going to stay healthy in my mind until he doesn't, right? So in my mind, yes, 9 wins is the route that I'm seeing. So yeah, I'm going to go over.
I'm going under. And to be honest with you, look, even with Tua healthy, is he even a top 10 quarterback in your eyes? So everybody's waffling on whether the Dolphins can be good. There's a reason Tyreek Hill and all these cats went up, Jonnu Smith and all of them went up out of there. They know this cat ain't no damn count. He can't get it done, healthy or injured. Under for the Miami Dolphins. But that's my unpopular opinion. But let's get on to the next squad and see if they can do better than these dang on Dolphins. But we're gonna get into the goddamn Jets. All right, back here with the New York Jets, man, and Jets made some changes at the quarterback position. They got Justin Fields. Let's go, Justin. Let's see if you can make a difference in New York. You couldn't do it in Chicago. Couldn't do it in Pittsburgh. Try again, my friend. Let's try the New York Jets. Also making changes at the coaching rank, bringing in Aaron Glenn over from the Detroit Lions. Aaron Glenn, of course, former cornerback of the New York Jets back in the day, coming back to his former team to try to get this Jets team resurrected. Jets team ain't been no count since the Rex Ryan days. 5-12 last season. Bet MGM got him at 5.5. 5.5, folks. The Jets, man. Who has any faith in the New York Jets? But again, this ain't my opinion. This is the Aboriginal Sports Network. Hit that like button. Bringing in Big Pat, Shakes, and Coach. Talk to me about what happened with the Jets last season and 5-12. Projected to win 5 games again.
Yeah, New York Jets are gonna do New York Jets things, man. They're gonna get. They just last year it was just tumultuous, man. Aaron Rodgers not being the Aaron Rodgers of old. You get what's my man Devontae Adams to come over there to try to bring the New York Packers back over there, man. Their defense was on the field too much. They didn't have any camaraderie over there. You had Aaron Rodgers getting GMs and coaches fired, and it was all crazy, man. The Jets, they were just tumultuous last year, man. They didn't have too many bright points except for their defense. So that's the way it went down with the Jets last year, man. Coach, I don't know if you have any stats for these guys, but hey, let them see what they did last year as far as the stats, man.
See, offensively, they were 24th in the league with almost 5,300 yards, 3,700 in the air, 1,500 on the ground. Third in terms of defense. So, that's where they made their mark. If you wanted to say that, Rodgers, when he was here, roughly almost 3,900 yards passing. And then on the ground game, Breece Hall led the way with about almost 900 yards. Braylon Allen contributed about 300 yards. So there you have it in terms of receiving yards. Garrett Wilson seemed to be the most productive, over 1,100 yards receiving yards. So that's pretty much it. So in terms of the stats for the Jets.
Yeah. Shakes, you got anything about what the Jets were and what they did last season, man? Talk to them.
Nah, I mean, they was in shambles last year and a lot of firings and all types of shit. Going through what they was going through with Aaron Rodgers, it's just a wash. You know what I mean? But now they what are they revamping now, right? They just totally wiped that shit clean. And I like the direction that they are going forward. Mm-hmm. I love the Aaron Glenn hiring. He's a beast defensive coordinator, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a beast head coach. And I think he's definitely going to turn that Jets team around, just not this year. they're gonna go through a transition this year on trying to figure out the culture that Aaron Glenn is trying to bring to that locker room, as well as what he's trying to present to them. I think what they really and what I think he really is going to do is focus on the run game, because they have a hard-nosed defense, and they're going to be a hard-nosed defense with Aaron Glenn. Now, all they have to do is have a good run game, which they have 2 good running backs. So if they can lean on that run game and just allow Fields to not throw 40, 50 times a game, and maybe just 20, 25, 30, I think that's the range that he should be at. I think they'll be in a good state, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that they're definitely gonna be a good team going forward. Just not this year.
Yeah, man. Probably not this season, but you never know. Let's take a look at what the Jets did this offseason. Let's start here with some of the key losses. Yeah, it is sad for the Jets. Pretty sad. Aaron Rodgers, peace. Devontae Adams, peace. Tyler Conklin, peace. Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, Wes Schweisinger. I mean, who else did they lose? You know, this
me, and I didn't even play for him.
Look, man, when you're in the position of the Jets, everybody think this Jets team is some team that's ready to take off and just win a bunch of games, or, you know, they got this ready-made team and all they need is a quarterback, and put Justin Fields in there and Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields. I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but again, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers versus Justin Fields. That was your quarterback move in the offseason. Devontae Adams left. We'll see who you brought in, but again, I don't think it was Devontae Adams. You lost 2 kickers. Just like the Jets, to lose 2 kickers. You lose 2 kickers. How you lose 2 kickers?
Nah, because Legatron wasn't legging.
Yo,
I
got it, bro.
Legatron was not legging, bro. He was.
He was trash.
He needs to go.
I could have kicked better than him last year, but man, when you get back to the losses, these dudes lost
and a punter.
Everybody, bro. They lost everybody, bro. Like, what is really good with these AFC East teams? They lose everybody. Look at that list. You lose your captain, CJ Mosley. You lose your second best corner, DJ Reed. You lose Eguavoen, who was pretty good. You lose Chuck Clark, Ashton Davis, and Jalen Mills. All your safeties, all your kickers and punters, all your defensive linemen. You lost Hassan Reddick. He never really wanted to play for you. You lost pretty much your whole offensive line. You lost both your tight ends. You lost your top receiver and your top quarterback. Coach, talk to him, man. This is ridiculous.
A lot of losses there. The biggest one is Aaron Rodgers, but is that more so because of bringing in who they brought in, addition by subtraction? I mean, last year, really, the Jets were run by Aaron Rodgers. So they're headed in a new direction. And to have a clean start, refresh start, yeah, you have to lose all that. You have to peel back all the layers, get rid of everything, get rid of all the dysfunction to build it up. So right now, the losses, to me, are not losses. I mean, and you know me, I always talk about the trenches, the offense and defensive line. But right now, because of the direction that they're trying to go and where they're headed, I think it's more so kicking them out as opposed to losses. So you're getting rid of the stink. So back to you.
Yeah, man. Shakes, man. What you think about these losses for these Jets, man? Which one of these losses you think is going to impact them the most?
I would have to say maybe the CJ Mosley, but not just, you know what I mean, just because he does bring a lot production wise as well, but that leadership factor. Like, he was a true leader in that locker room, and his loss is gonna affect him. I don't know. It might bring him back because that's how big his leadership is, and ain't nobody really signed him yet, so it looked good for him. But yeah, maybe he retires. I don't know. But that guy, CJ Mosley, in that locker room, it's huge, huge. So yeah, that's a huge loss, man.
All right, so yeah, we totally agree that they had huge losses, man. Let's see if they gained anything. Good grief.
Word.
Well, speaking of, yeah, I mean, this is it. This is it, folks. This is it. Justin Fields, and Jamon Davis, Brandon Stevens. I don't know, man.
Can we get to the next segment, please?
Cooked, bro. Now that's a team that's cooked. Y'all want to talk about a team that's cooked?
Oh,
Cooked.
Yo, this is all that needs to be played for this, bro.
That's
Can we
terrible.
please get to the next segment?
Man,
oh
it's
my
terrible.
God,
Thank you.
bro. I mean, Andre Cisco, anybody?
Listen, man.
All right.
Go to draft picks.
Please.
Go to draft picks. Go to draft picks.
Oh my God. That's a damn
Jesus.
shame. All right. Now we came front on the draft, man. Membo, I think with time can be solid. Mason Taylor, tight end. They needed a tight end. Osray Thomas, we interviewed at the Senior Bowl. Good kid. I think he's gonna be awesome for them. In that secondary with Sauce Gardner. But I mean, it's not an outstanding draft. It's okay. But which one of these draft picks you think is gonna help the Jets out the most? Because they need it. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, they need a lot of help, brother. But they did make one draft pick that was half decent. And that was their first round draft pick, Membo. I think Membo is going to be pretty doggone good. He is a very, very athletic tackle. Like I said, Coach Sexy Fatties, you'll know a lot about Membo. And I know a lot about him too because you see the things that he does. He's nasty. He's very physical and he's athletic and he can move people out the way for Breece Hall. So I do give them credit for getting Membo early in the draft. He was projected to go in the mid rounds, but they took a chance on him high in the draft, and I think that chance will be, a very good risk right there. So Membo, yeah, I'm with Membo right there.
But Coach, what's your thoughts?
I agree with Pat in terms of the pick. It's Membo, and Pat hit on all the points. But one of the biggest things that I like about Membo is he finishes the play and he finishes his man. And when I say finishes him, he puts him on, puts the defender on their hind parts. And that's just something that offensive linemen need to have to develop into good to great offensive linemen. I'm not saying he's great, but I'm saying he has the tools to be able to be developed into a good to great offensive lineman in the NFL. That's what I have for you.
All right, Shakes. What you think about him, man?
Once again, just like the Dolphins, I love this draft. I think this is where you get to the meat potatoes of what they're trying to do going forward. Great first round pick. Mason Taylor, who is Jason Taylor's son. I love that pick. Ezra Thomas, much needed. Aaron Smith, needed. Um, this Malachi Moore, that's what I call him, Malachi. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a big pick. And then you got two of my sons, man, right there. Two of my sons, two of my kids, Francisco and my boy Tyler Barron. And Francisco's little brother coming out next year. I hope
Nice.
he's giant. He's a fucking animal, son. So yeah, I think they hit on every pick for me. They hit. Now it's just about them growing up together and growing in this Aaron Glenn now system and what he's trying to do. So not so much on them free agency signings. Them free agency signings was trash. But I think where they went hard body at is in this draft, and what they trying to do is build from the draft, and I like it.
Yeah, man, but let's get on to this roster, man. Let's just take a look at this roster, man, real quick, man. Let's take a peek at the New York Jets roster, man. Hey, Olu Fashanu, John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Mimbu slated to start. So, again, you think about this offensive line, you think about Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor. Those are your quarterbacks. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. I like that running back combo. But, I mean, Garrett Wilson. And you got Josh Reynolds and Alan Lazard, man. Alan Lizard and Garrett Wilson.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Just look, bro. Hold up, real quick. That is not a very attractive combination right there, man. To have a quarterback like Justin Fields throwing to. I don't know, man. This ain't looking good, man. But y'all talk about the team, talk about the defense, and get into how this depth chart looks.
Listen, man. I'm gonna say one thing about this offense. You better run the ball and throw it to Garrett Wilson. That's what you better do. You better run that ball and include Justin Fields in running the ball with a lot of RPO and get that ball to Garrett Wilson. That is your only shot. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Coach, what about the defense?
I mean, the defense has the tools to continue on in what they've been doing. It's just a matter of learning the system that Aaron Glenn is trying to instill and implement. And then on the back end, I mean, being that you did lose certain players on that back end, especially two safeties, how do they gel? But again, Aaron Glenn was a former defensive back, and he knows New York City, he knows the area, so he's built for getting them up to par. So I think they have the tools, at least in the starting unit. What do you do to develop in the second and anything else after that is just going to be key.
Shakes.
Mhm.
Stamp of approval or trash?
Yeah, I'm gonna say trash for right now. But the thing is, I like the direction though, right? Like, I don't think it's a complete process or a complete thing yet. It's still yet to be seen, but this is him just putting his foot on it and saying this is mine now in the Aaron Glenn. So I like it going forward. As far as like when you say the wide receivers, that's not attractive. But to me, I don't think you need attractive, dynamic wide receivers there. Now you got one with the Wilson or whatever, that's fine. And I think that's all they really need. And then like some tight ends. Because with Fields, he's not going to throw it. He's not a 4,000, 5,000 yard quarterback a season. Like, that's not what you're going to get from him. You're going to get 335, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to get a lot from his running. So when you put that in it and you got those two dynamic running backs there, and Allen and what's my other guy name? Because I don't want to butcher his name.
Brees Hall.
Yeah, Brees Hall. Right? When you got them two back there and you got a Justin Fields, now all you know what I mean, your identity is to run the ball, play hard-nosed defense. That's where it should go to, and that's where I think Aaron Glenn is trying to present. But yeah, you don't need no dynamic wide receivers there. So I like it going forward, just like I said, it's just not for this year. Next year, they're going to make some noise. This year, it's going to be a transition for me.
Okay. Stamp of approval, trash and transition. Yo.
Yeah, trash.
Yeah, man. But looking at the schedule here, folks. So the Jets start off with the Colts, Patriots, Buffalo.
Wait a minute.
Okay, see, wait a minute. Okay, that's the wrong schedule.
Whoops. All right, so coming back here with the New York Jets schedule. Opening up at Pittsburgh. Then you get Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Panthers, and then the Bengals. Oh my God. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If the Jets come out of that stretch with more than 3 wins, I would be shocked.
Shit, more than 2. Yeah, that is brutal.
That's vicious. I mean, I'm saying Carolina, Miami, you know, and then you may have a shot against Tampa or Denver, depending on you know, any given night type shit. But you ain't beating Pittsburgh or Buffalo, I don't think, or the Cowboys, because it's high that they just, I don't know. What's y'all thoughts?
It's over under 5.5, right?
5.5.
Under.
Yep.
I don't see 5 teams on that schedule that I can see that they can literally beat. I don't see 5 teams on that schedule. Because I think Jacksonville's on the same level as them. Maybe New Orleans. Maybe they get New England once or twice. That's 3. Maybe Cleveland. That's 4. Yeah, man. Under.
Coach.
Under. I mean, Pat just said it. I mean, you're looking at the schedule to start. You know, that's going to be key. And then how is the mindset going from there? You know, do they still compete? even if their season is totally gone by the bye week. So it really is about, I even wonder if they're going to be able to get to 4.5 as an over-under.
Facts.
Damn.
Facts.
Snakes. Any faith in the Jets?
What's the
5.5.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what though? I'm definitely going to give them some praise, man. So shouts to the Jets, man. Shouts to Jet fans out there. Cause I'm going over with that, man. I think they get 6 wins, man.
Okay, quick question before we get off the Jets. Name the 6 win.
Alright, let's go through it, y'all. Let me look at it right now. Alright. I see they can get 1. Shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just hold on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Name the 6 wins.
Just hold on.
Wait.
Alright, so Carolina, right?
1,
Cleveland,
2,
New England,
3.
I want to say Atlanta, but no, they ain't gonna do it. Jacksonville,
4,
New Orleans,
5.
and they can beat New England again.
So they're sweeping New England.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. You know what time it is, man.
I'm gonna take the under here as well. I think this Jets team is right at 5. That's why I'm picking them to be, and yeah. So you ain't getting that half, Jets. But check it out, man. We got one more team. That is the New England Patriots. Patriots fans got a lot of hope. Got high hopes. Let's see where the Aboriginal Sports Network has it.
See if I can get it.
All right, so we back, man. The New England Patriots, 4-13 last year. Hired Mike Vrabel, Drake May, future quarterback. Had a meh rookie season, but there are high hopes, like I said, for the Patriots. But I want to talk about this win total. 8.5 for the Patriots. 8.5. So y'all basically think the New England Patriots are going to be competing for the playoffs? This is why we do these previews, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. 8.5. They went 4-13 last year. Talk to me about the New England Patriots, fellas, and what is the outlook? I mean, talk about last year and then bringing in Mike Vrabel, and talk about Drake May and what you're saying from Drake May, and is he the future quarterback? Because 8.5, that tells me he is. That tells me he about to go out there and light it up.
Well, what the Patriots did last season, they were a very young team. They got their quarterback, Drake May, made some flashes. And, I guess according to what they did this offseason, we're going to get into that, is the reason why they have him at 8.5, bring it over Mike Vrabel. A very good head coach. He's known to do good things. He was pretty doggone good over there with the Titans before they broke everything up. And he definitely didn't want to trade A.J. Brown. That's what really was the fail of the Titans. And they got rid of Derrick Henry. And, you know what happened to the Titans after that. So they were a very young team. They got some people over there. Keyshawn Butte, that's your Butte. You got Douglas right there. They got a couple of pieces, so we're gonna see exactly what they did this offseason to make them have GM Grand say 8.5. Man, shout out to them. So they must know something. But we're gonna get into it and see exactly what happened. But coach, hey, tell them what they did with the stats last year, and maybe this is the reason why they said 8.5. Let's go.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
sorry.
coach.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So offensively, they had almost 5,000 yards in total offense, 3,000 passing, and 2,000 on the ground. Their offense ranked 31st in total yards, while defensively they were 22nd. So when we take a look at, what they did, Drake May, rookie quarterback, roughly about 2,300 yards passing, 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. So you definitely need improvement there because that's going to be key to everything that they are going to do offensively. You had Ramondre Stevens, who led them on the ground game with 800 yards. Antonio Gibson also was a productive running back at 5,000 yards. But then you had your production from your two tight ends, Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. Combined, they had about 1,000 yards, a little over 1,000 yards in terms of receiving yards. But then you also have Douglas and Butte, who contributed in the passing game. One of the key additions, is going to be key to what they're going to be doing going forward from there. So, and that's in Diggs. So we'll see what happens from there. But back to you.
Yeah, man. So, Shakes, talk to me a little bit about what they did last year, man. Real quick. Got anything on the Patriots?
Yeah, like I think last year they was really in a transition. It's the reason why they went out and got Vrabel, went back to their Patriot roots, which I think is a great signing as well. But last year was just a wash, man. They was just really trying to see what they had in Drake May. And I think they did see what they had. It wasn't much going for wins, but when you look at his production on the field and when you watch some of his games, you can tell like, oh yeah, they see something in him. So they went all out in this offseason to make sure that they went and did good by him going in forward in his progression. So can't wait to see the losses and additions. But yeah, once y'all see that, then y'all see the reason why these people are saying 8.5.
All right, let's take a look at Mr. 8.5. All right, man. Well, Jacoby Brissett, they traded Joe Milton. That was a big one. Offensive tackle, offensive guard, and a center left. Coach always preaches about that. But other than that, I mean, not nothing crazy, I don't think. But Coach, Pat, Shakes, give me a key loss, man. What's gonna hurt the Patriots the most?
Yeah, the key loss on them, man, and to me, is Dietrich Wise. That's it. To be honest with you, Jonathan Jones maybe, but yeah, Dietrich Wise. I mean, Brissett and Joe Milton were backups, and they already have their quarterback of the future. So those two guys were going to be, gone here soon anyway. But Dietrich Wise and maybe Jawan Bentley and Jonathan Jones. That's about the only thing I've seen they lost. I mean, they did a good job of keeping that core there for Mike Vrabel. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Coach, what you think?
Yeah, I'm with you, Pat. I mean, I don't really see any major losses And yeah, they lost 3 offensive linemen, but were they really key contributors to what they were trying to do? So, everything is going to be contingent though on what you brought in, but it doesn't look like you lost anything majorly. So we'll just take it from there and we'll see.
Okay, Shakes. What you think with on their key losses, man? You see anything on there that we're missing?
Nah, man, they ain't lose shit, man. You know what I mean? They ain't lose shit, man. The only thing that you can go on, possibly for me, is the Joe Milton thing, but that is because they highly on Drake May. So they like, hey, we don't need the developmental quarterback anymore. We can get that next year or whatever. We can get that another time. But yeah, I mean, let's get something for them, and that's what they did. So to me,
smart
like,
move.
yeah, for real. So yeah, I don't see shit that they lost, man. They good.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots.
This is where you be like, oh my,
Stephon Diggs,
oh my.
Josh Dobbs. I mean, Harold Landry, Morgan Moses. I mean, they signed some players.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one key addition though, man. Give me one, man. Which one is gonna have the biggest impact, man, for Drake May, Mike Vrabel, and the New England Patriots in the 2025 NFL season? Let's go.
Yo, if you're looking for impact for Drake May, Mr. Stephon Diggs, man, step up to the plate and be the number one receiver that they need over there. You, Keyshawn Butte, the slot receiver that they have, man, y'all can make some noise out there with Drake May, and Drake May can throw that ball deep. So is Stephon Diggs gonna get back to being Stephon Diggs, one of the better receivers in the league? Was a top 5 receiver just about 3 years ago. So yeah, I like that pickup of Stephon Diggs for them, man. I think he's gonna open up their offense to where they can get Stevenson running. And when he gets the ball running, now they have a play action where Stephon Diggs out there can be a absolute menace for them. And they have a bevy of other receivers out there, and that's when we're going to get into the depth chart. But, Coach, who do you think is a great addition for the Patriots this season?
I like your Diggs thought, but I'm going to go with Morgan Moses. What are you going to get out of him? I mean, because he's there to help your young quarterback. That's going to be key to everything. We'll always preach about the trenches. So him and, you want to say Garrett Bradbury because, what does he bring to the table? So what do both of those guys bring?
Shakes.
Yeah. I think neither one of y'all is wrong when y'all point out those guys because all those guys were my guys, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. First off, I wasn't gonna go with Stephon Diggs because that's the obvious, and I'm gonna tell you why he is though. Because when you look at Josh Allen, when you look at the kid over there, Stroud in Houston, when they get this wide receiver in the fold, their stats go up. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So he is definitely quarterback friendly. Let's say that, right? So that's huge for Drake May, a young quarterback right there. You're doing right by him right there. But not only are you doing right by them right there, because you give him a wide receiver, and what else do? You give him protection. And they went out there and they got the brunt work in the Garrett Bradbury to be the center, to be the general, all right, which he is great at. And also what you just said with Morgan Moses, that's interior, right? And it goes to that draft pick that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? That is what you do for this young quarterback. And wide receivers, Mac Hollins, all that, man, they did right by that quarterback. So to me, that right there, my answer was both of them, Moses and Bradbury. But of course, you can't deny the Stephon Diggs, man, because that again is quarterback friendly.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs definitely should have an impact. Let's hope he does. But let's take a look at some of the young players that could possibly have an impact, man.
This is why I like him. That's why I like
Talking about Will Campbell, Trayvon Henderson, Kyle Williams, man. My man Kyle Williams, man. Pat, that's your boy too. Josh Farmer. Shout out to Josh Farmer, man. Pat, talk about some of the key draft picks.
Oh man, you can't go without this draft without talking about Mr. Will Campbell. Will Campbell, man, just like Shake said, man, they did right by doggone Drake May this offseason, man. It was dope. That draft right there is dope. But we're gonna get into talking about Mr. Will Campbell, man. Like, there's not too much I can say that they didn't do for him, man. He should have a pretty doggone good season for them, man. Will Campbell, with those guys that they pick up in Morgan Moses and all those guys out there, man, it's looking vicious out there, man. Maybe that 8.5 was right. Because, man, when you get to what they did, it's ridiculous what they did, man. Now that I'm looking at it, man, Will Campbell, the short the offensive line, Travion Henderson, running back, the short with Stevenson, my man Kyle Williams to go out there with Stephon Diggs, Jared Wilson from Georgia to short the center position, Craig Woodson, the safety from California, very underrated. Joshua Farmer, we talked to at the Senior Bowl, underrated defensive tackle. And the list goes. Braden Swinson, underrated. Like, man, they did their thing. Hey, Patriots. Coach.
Yeah.
Told you. You going to see why they got that AFI. I told you, Pat. I told you. But go ahead.
They did well in attacking the offensive line because that's what it helps your young quarterback in Campbell, in Wilson, and the developmental tactics in Marcus Bryant. You know, when you bring those guys in with what they've already done in free agency with Moses, it goes well to what they're trying to do for the long-term future. And also, don't forget, in addition, is their new head coach too. So we didn't have that to the table too. So you guys said it well. They did very well in the draft and what they're doing for the future. So,
yep.
Most definitely, man. Let's keep it pushing. I do want to get into this depth chart because this is our last team, man, in the AFC East, and we got to talk about this thing, man.
My fault, NYJ, but let me speak on that draft real quick. I know you kind of skipped over me, but I want to speak on it real quick.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm trying to get Coach out of here.
I know, I already know. So I'm gonna make this real quick. But as far as, can I say it real quick? Let me.
Yeah. You got it.
Let me go. But I already know the first pick, Will Campbell. Like I said, man, that draft, the free agency, definitely was big for that draft pick in that first round. That Will Campbell, man, like that solidifies everything. But then now also, then you got Jared Wilson. Now you already got a center in there in Bradbury, but you can have Jared Wilson as a guard and learning from Bradbury right now. And that's huge. But the huge shit for me is my son, who I kept saying, once we lost Saquon Barkley, I was like, yo, if y'all get this guy, I'm good. Because it equivalates to that. And the Travion Henderson. That boy is a home run threat. He is a home run hitter. And for them, they was, my other son, who they got right now, I'm losing track of Stevenson. Right. Stevenson, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a beast when he runs the ball, but he has that fumbling issue. When you got Travion Henderson there, man, them two together is just going to be nasty. So, like you said, man, what they done in this draft, crazy. that's why I said what I said about that 8.5. But go ahead, we can go on to the next one.
8.5, man. But yo, check it, man. Like I said, look at this roster, bro. I don't think this no 8.5 roster. Look at that defense. To be honest with you, man, I'm not afraid of this defense or this offense, man. You got Stephon Diggs, but you got Drake May. You got a rookie left tackle. You got Morgan Moses at right tackle. I mean, he's on a decline. Garrett Bradbury. I mean, I think the right and the left guard are pretty decent. But again, man, I'm going under, bro.
Well,
Under.
Well,
Y'all got
when
it.
I look at this offense, man, you're gonna see these guys in spurts actually show what they can do. With Drake May at the quarterback position, with Ramon Stevenson and Henderson at the running back position, that's pretty decent. Hunter Henry at tight end has always been nice. Austin Hooper is pretty good. Morgan Moses may be on the back end of his career. You got Mike Onwenu, who's very good. Garrett Bradbury, who's good. Cole Strange, who's good. Will Campbell, we'll see, but he's projected to be good. Then you got Demario Douglas and Stephon Diggs with Kyle Williams, Kendrick Bourne, Keyshawn Boutte, that's your Boutte, Javon Baker, Mac Hollins. Bro, this offense is not as bad as you making them out to be, bro. I'm telling you.
Word.
They can surprise the people out there, bro. If they block, man. Hey, listen.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Coach,
We'll see,
what you
man.
think
But
about the defense.
Coach, get in there.
Go ahead, Coach.
Well, being that you have a defensive-minded coach in a sense, who's also familiar with New England, he understands the culture up there. He understands everything about New England. And then you put these players over here under him, Christian Barrymore, Harold Landry. I mean,
Milton
Christian
Williams.
Gonzalez. Yes, I mean, you sit here and you look at it, it's something that, you know what? And here's the biggest thing. Coming from a coaching perspective, if you can run the football and be very, very efficient in your offensive production, and you play sound defensively, they can balance out each other. You can get a lot more production overall that'll end up affecting and positively or negatively, but positively impacting your win total. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, if I'm the head coach, one of the things I'm going to try and do is run the football, set up play action. Yes, you try and get the ball to Douglas and Diggs. Your tight ends, remember I said they have two decent tight ends. And the best friend for a young quarterback are your tight ends. And you can play good defense, create turnovers, give your offense a short field. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, but and Vrabel has proven that he knows how to coach in the NFL. I'm starting to wonder.
I don't know, man.
But Shakes,
I don't know. Yeah, Shakes, man. Talk to him, man.
Just get
what
your
about this
stamp of
roster,
approval.
bro? Yeah, I don't know, man.
This is like, I know I seen this shit. When I seen this shit in the draft, and I'm like, ooh, them Patriots doing moves, bro. Now, like you said, that offense looks great, but for me, that defense is the reason why I'm going under. But it's just right there under because I got them at 7 wins. I got them at 7, and y'all remember I said that the excuse me, that the Jets was going to sweep them. And the reason why I said the Jets was going to sweep them is because I feel like the Jets offensively are athletic, and I don't think that the Patriots defensively can match them athletically. So that's the reason why I think that the Jets will have their number this year. But as far as everybody else, they're going to shock some teams, bro. They're going to shock some teams. And I'm giving them 7 wins. So, yeah, it's under. But their roster is sneakily getting there where they might be competing for a chip in a year or two. Just saying.
Man, who they beat? What 7 teams they beating on this schedule?
See, let's look at
Man, come on, bro.
You got
You got Miami, you got Pittsburgh, Carolina, okay, Buffalo, New Orleans. They gonna give you for Tennessee. Don't sleep on them boys. I'm telling you, we previewed them already. Cleveland and Atlanta, they should be better. Tampa's pretty good. The Jets, we just talked about them. Division opponent. Cincinnati, they can score. The Giants, yeah. But anyway, Buffalo, Baltimore. Come on, bro.
It's gonna be tough for them. You can do it,
Pat, man. Coach, get in there, man.
They can go 3-3 in their division. If they go 3-3 in their division, they could beat the Raiders 4. They could beat Carolina 5. They could beat New Orleans 6. Tennessee, they can beat them. That could go either way. I think that's like the same type roster, to be honest with you. 2 up-and-coming rosters. So that could go either way. They can
I don't
beat
think
Cleveland.
you just beating Carolina. New Orleans, I think they tanking, yeah. Cleveland, yeah. But I don't know about Carolina.
Listen to me, man.
I don't know about the 2 New York teams either, because they both got good defenses. I don't know, bro.
If they could go, I'm gonna go under because 8.5 is very high. But if they win 7 games, I would not be surprised, especially if they can go 3-3 in their division. Because I think they're gonna get punished by Buffalo twice. I don't think the Jets are beating them twice.
Nah,
and they can
they
definitely get Miami.
They always beat the Jets at least once.
And that they definitely could get Miami.
They'll beat Miami at least once. I give them 2-4 in the division. Give them Cleveland maybe 5. That's 3. Say they get Carolina or the Giants. One of those 2 teams, I think they'll beat. Give them 4 and 5. New Orleans, maybe, but that's at New Orleans, so I don't know. So again, where's all these wins at?
Like I said, I don't see the 8.5. I think that's too much. But I do. It's close though. I'm close though. I'm close.
It's close, man. Because that Tennessee game could go either way. They could get the Saints in Cleveland. New York, I think they get them at least once, if not twice. I know they're going to get Miami once. I think they could beat the Raiders. And I think they could beat Carolina. I'm telling you, 6 or 7 wins, man. Somewhere in between there.
Man, for me, Vegas, I think it's not beating Patriots. They can beat Pittsburgh at home. I'm not sure if I'm giving that to them, but they can do that. Carolina, I think they can beat them. I think they beat New Orleans. Like you said, the Tennessee things are tossed up for me. I'm taking that though. I think that they win that. I think that they can beat Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And then it's rough after that though.
Yeah, man. I'm going under. But that coach, so what we doing here, bro?
I think they win in 11 games. No, I can see 7 or 8 games. Honestly, I really do. You know, based on what they're doing, and a lot of this, I'm going to be brutally honest. It's because of also Mike Vrabel. I'm putting him into the equation also. He's a better coach than McDaniels in Miami. He's a much better coach than him. So I have to give him, yes.
My bad for cutting you.
Mm-hmm.
But think about that Tennessee game. At Tennessee, him
Mm-hmm.
going back. Them players are going to play for him. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
No, I'm with you with that. That's what I'm saying. I think they split with Miami. I think they split with the Jets. I think they can take Vegas. Carolina, I know you're big on Carolina NYG, but being that it's in New England, I just think it'll be a win. Either New Orleans or Tennessee. I think they're taking one of those two. I actually think they're taking both Cleveland and Atlanta. I really do. Cincinnati is a toss-up. The
They
Giants
can't play with it based on that roster. They can't play with Atlanta, but I just think Michael Penix and that offense is gonna be a little bit too much for him.
No, I understand. I'm just saying. I think, and because it's also in New England, it's in November.
Yep.
The weather's starting to change.
Yeah, that is in New England.
So it's like, the Giants is a toss-up. Again, like I said, I can see 7 or 8 wins. I really can. So that's just my opinion.
Yep. I'm with you, Coach.
Well, we can revisit this. I'm taking the under.
We're all taking the under. I think we all agree with that.
I don't see it. I see a 5-win team, to be honest with you. And I mean, even just clicking back to the roster real quick. I mean, are we holding it down with Will Campbell and Morgan Moses, I should say?
Morgan Moses is not as bad as you, man. As long as he stays healthy. It's been injuries in his career.
In that division, in the AFC. Now let's go back to the schedule. Some pretty tough defenses. You going against the Steelers. You going against the Bills. You going against Tennessee, not shabby. Tampa, not shabby. The Jets might be top 10. The Giants might be top 10. Cincinnati's a cakewalk, but Baltimore is vicious.
You forgot about Cleveland's defense too.
Yeah, Cleveland.
I get you with everything you're saying is true. I'm not saying it's not true, but in the same token, to me, you can't just say, "Oh, it's only going to be 5," and pretty much that's it. That's why I said 7 or 8. That's what I'm saying.
I think they're going to win a couple of games you expect them to lose. With that
exactly. That's the point. So it's like it could go either way. If they won 5 games, I'm not going to be surprised and say, "Oh well." I
was shocked, right?
Yeah, so okay, fine. They won 5 games, but if they won 7 or 8, I'm not going to be surprised either.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I called that shit.
Right, right.
Well,
it's not as bad as a team as I thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that off season.
They aren't as bad, but they are in a tough division, and this is a tough division, man. And this has been the AFC East preview. Let's get to it, fellas. How y'all feeling about this division? I'm pretty much thinking it's Buffalo and
Whoever. Buffalo's gonna walk away with it. And Miami, New York Jets, and Miami are gonna be one of those teams. One of those teams are gonna wind up with like 7 or 8 wins. But Buffalo's gonna run away with this division, man.
Coach.
Yeah, it's Buffalo's division. That's not even a debate. I mean, we've gone through the divisions. I mean, it's Buffalo's division. That's all I can say.
Shakes.
As for me, the way I can describe it is it's just gonna be hard-nosed football, AFC East style, and we all love it. Buffalo is definitely going to take the crown. I think they are at the top of the echelon, but I think Miami is the competitive one right there under them, and then I feel like New England and the Jets are the up and coming. That's how I see them.
Yeah. Man, but that was the AFC East, man. Hey, listen, y'all see the man on the big screen. Give me the big screen. Y'all see this man on the big screen, man. Shakes Montana getting his welcoming in into the Aboriginal Sports Network, brother. And look forward to seeing a lot more of the shakedown right here on the ABSN. Shakes Montana.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
wait to continue to work with you, brother. We got a
Yes,
lot
sir.
of things heating up for you guys, man. Coming up this sports season, especially with football season hit, man. We got so much fire for you guys. And man, just proud to have this brother on the team. Hopefully you had a great time breaking down this AFC East division. And you might see Shakes on the next one, man. But the host of the show, NYG, break us down, brother.
Yo, man, appreciate y'all. Hey, look, we going over to the NFC next. The NFC previews coming up right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network, and definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in. And until next time, man, y'all know how we do it. We up out of here, y'all. Deuce.